Hi, we're going into a new chapter, leaving and arriving to the harbor, hoisting the sails and hauling the sails, that kind of practical stuff that you actually have to do when you have a boat and you have to go in and out the harbor. We will there's a few videos of that, and it's for big boats and it's for dinghies, completely different actually. So it's good to, well, just hang on here. Well, the first thing we need to do is to leave the harbor. So and we have some scenarios here. You are the green one, the green boat over there. It's a little different how you behave. You have the wind from above. Doesn't have to be north, but from this direction at the moment. We might change that. Water here, we have the harbor here, docks, a lot of boats, and the ocean where we want to go out. So and when you are going out of the harbor, and perhaps especially when you're going into the harbor, you have a lot of adrenaline in your veins, and because actually when most people and most boats are really destroying something fucked up, it's when they're going, especially when they're going into the harbor, out as well. This is also depending, of course, how the mooring is done. If it's like mooring lines, quite used in, well, Mediterranean, a lot of harbors, or if it's like buoys, or if you have your own anchor, or really what you have been using. But anyway, yeah, the first thing you need to do is really to figure out how you should do this, so you have a plan for it. And then if you are more on board, which you hopefully are, then inform the others of how you will do this. If you're going out with the bow first, or you're going out with the stern first, or whatever, however. And you also need to check what to look out for. Well, we start with this boat. If you're going out from there, it's pretty simple, but you have to be aware of the other boats, if they have mooring lines or whatever they have that actually keep the boats away from the dock. Probably a mooring line or some buoy or some anchor, and this one as well. And you have some wind over here, so you know that as soon as you leave and you get off your mooring lines, the boat will go away. And the boat is heavier in the back of the boat, in the stern of the boat. So as soon as you get some wind on the boat, the bow will go away from the wind. So like this, if you go here and you have a little side wind and the boat comes away, so what you do? Well, you have some mooring lines, of course, back to the dock, and one or two forward. In this case you can release the first one of them, and if they have side wind is from port, I release the starboard one, because it's no new use and you're actually going that way, so you really don't want to get that into your own propeller. And then I will make this quite fast, so I really need to, when I'm going away now, we can release first this one, then release this one, but not all of it, perhaps. Make sure that you have 1 meter, release 1 meter, and then get some speed. And while you have some speed, release the last of the moorings there and that one, and just go ahead up there. Make sure that you're away from the other moorings, and as soon as you actually steer a little to your starboard here, the boat will catch the wind and get down, and you can actually just head out. Works quite. What you have to be What you have to check is that your boat is away from the other mooring lines, especially this mooring line, so you're not steering too fast or make a shortcut there and end up with that mooring line in your keel or in your rudder, especially if you have double rudders, twin rudders, or even worse in your propeller. So really go ahead, make the turn here. You can actually wait for the wind to turn the boat. Just keep the boat a little upwind so it's not going backwards. Wait for the boat to turn. If you have a bow thruster, well, please use it. Push. We say max 7 seconds on the bow thruster, so it's not, that doesn't burn. Go away, go out. If you're this boat, you have the wind from your stern. So here is the other problem is that you can perhaps going too fast and it's quite narrow here. So now there's of course mooring lines on the other side. So you have to make sure that you're not stuck into the boat on the other side. And if it's a lot of wind, because the thing is here, if you're going out with the boat and steer a little, it's harder to steer here because the wind will not do the work for you. The wind will push your boat more forward than this way. So as soon as you go here, the wind will, you want to go here, but the wind will push the bow down here again. So either you need to make some speed and make sure that you're not stuck. The combination is really bad. Speed and get stuck, that's really bad. So, but the possibility to stuck if you're going slow is much bigger. So try to get some speed and go around. What you actually can do here is using a spring. We're going to talk about spring when we're talking about the long sides docking. Spring, you can just borrow your neighbor's boat, take a spring from your mid cleat to that boat's forward cleat, few meters, and then when you drive through, let your moorings away and keep, this is a double one going back and forth, keep it, and you will use that boat as a hinge, that spring, and you can go on here. If they are on board, you have to ask them of course if it's okay, and if it's your neighbor, perhaps you can ask them about this beforehand. If you're going away, if you're alongside this one, it's kind of easy. Just make sure that you have some fenders out here. Let go out of your mooring from the bow. The boat will go into turn itself from the wind, and then make some speed. Let the mooring from your transom go away. Get some speed, go out. This boat is alongside, and it has actually little wind from to the side that actually pushes it to the dock. You can use a spring here as well. So if you take a little longer rope from your bow back here, about half boat length, make some fenders here, and then you go forward and steer to your right. And when you steer to your right, you have the rudder like that, and actually the engine will push water bouncing on the rudder and let the stern out. And you're still going forward. That's the trick in this one. When you're going forward, but take your wheel to your right or your rudder to your right, and the stern will the stern will go out. And when you have a good angle on it, put the reverse in, drop your spring and reverse out. And when you have some free water, either go this way, which is more easier. The wind will drop your bow, go forward. But everything like this, you make a plan for it before, and perhaps it's your home harbor, so you make a plan for, okay, if the wind is from here, how you do it. Well, if the wind is from the other side, how you can do it like that. Communicate it before you go out, and then make it happen. Hesitation kills, so you need to be firm when you're doing the engine, so go forward with a decent speed, not too much and not too less. And we're going out on the ocean, and we will be ready to hoist our sails when we come out. Okay, thank you.